Okay, I think I have pressed the button.
I suppose.
It was definitely not the wrong lever because it was a button, not a lever. The lever's over there.
Does your computer have levers?
I'm concerned.
Well, my mixer does. Also, the other mixer does too. So whether I am mixing audio content or making a cake, there's levers involved.
Which one leads to the alligators?
Most likely the one that's for making cakes because that thing scares me. I can't turn it up above like the speed setting number 3 because at that point it's moving so fast that I'm afraid if I get within 5 inches of it, it will rip off an arm. It is wonderful and I love it and it's terrifying.
I was just listening to the episode of Adventure Zone where that happens on my way home.
Concerning.
Oh yeah, only one episode where that happens. You're right, it only happened once. It's definitely not going to end up being a running gag.
In graduation, sorry.
I actually did not watch that entire... I didn't listen to that entire arc. I have too many podcasts to listen to. But in any case, hello, and welcome to I have no idea what anymore. No, but seriously, welcome to Cause and Effect. It's a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons actual play campaign. My name is Crash. I will be your DM for the evening. I like to think of myself as the herder of cats, mostly. Tonight, I am joined by several felines, including Beth, who's the only person here who's playing a tabaxi this evening, Ellie, who has a cat that enjoys windowsills, and Milo, who has a dog. Well, actually, no, it's a cat. It's just a very large cat.
And very dog-like.
As the best cats are. Cosplay. So, what happened last time?
Nobody knows.
We recruited someone who had been basically cyborged into something that would make General Grievous consider maybe it had gone a tad too far.
Cool in an alleyway.
Hello there.
Really cool in an alleyway.
Yes, there was hanging out in an alley.
And I was helpful for just long enough by by being cool and suave and calming, and then we went home.
These things did happen.
And I purposely wasn't really paying attention to everything else because I wasn't there.
I was going to say, these things did happen, and other things happened in between these things.
Yeah, those are the parts that Chadrick did, so that's all I got.
You did befriend an attack cyborg who was made out of a kidnapped sailor and several dismantled warforged. You also managed to kill the Kenku warlock / artificer who was doing all these dastardly things. They did attack Cavill, and Cavill did a hellish rebuke, and it was the hellish rebuke that was the killing blow. So that was fun. It was a fire-based attack that was responded to with a fire-based attack, so it was an I'm rubber, you're glue situation, which amuses me a lot more than it should. I didn't even mention that in that session, but that was very amusing for me. And afterwards, there was some discussion about what to do with the tank full of body parts that you found, and the piles of warforged, and basically, it was determined that it wasn't going to be your problem. Other people were going to come in and try to take care of it. For which there are licensed therapists that are on the payroll for Flag because they understand that they're a guild of adventurers. A good 90% of their membership are people with tragic backstories. Everyone benefits from the therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, even the ones who don't start off with tragic backstories end up with PTSD because there's DMs like me. Hi.
Do you think that my therapist has therapists?
Yeah.
I mean, they talk to Chadrick.
It's therapists all the way up. There's a god of therapists who's just sitting there with their head in their hands the entire time.
I'm just
listening to the prayers.
That all of the therapists have a group session to talk about Chadrick talked about his dad again. I wish he would stop. I
know client doctor privilege is a thing, but wait, you have a client named Chadrick as well? Yeah, mine's a paladin of party.
No.
Chadrick is my client too. Wait, who else here has Chadrick as a client? Everyone's hand goes up. As one, they march out to go find another therapist that they need to talk to.
As a collective. Please listen to us talk about this one man.
Class action.
The therapists end up being the bad guys.
Class action therapy.
Therapy, yes.
Another thing invented by Chadrick, although this one indirectly. Although
Society.
if I wasn't the DM and thoroughly enjoying all of this, I would have many concerns.
Do both.
But it is my personal opinion that utopias are very boring when it comes to role-playing environments. So actions that make any situation less of a utopia are good for business. It's like the rules of acquisition.
More of a utopia is good for business. Less of a utopia is good for business.
Yes, let's not talk about which of those is more good for business, but there's angles I can do for each of them.
Uh-huh.
All right. So those who need therapy can get therapy. That's available. Those who need medical attention, and by that I'm referring to that of organs, because some of those organs were brains.
That sounds like a wonderful way to get more people with extremely tragic backstories.
Don't need to get them. They're here.
Yes.
And
That sounds...
And not all of the Warforged who were turned into parts were beyond salvaging, just beyond salvaging for a party of level 4 adventurers.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Which are now level 5, because you all dinged. But at the
so
time...
now we can really take care of them.
I mean, hopefully someone will take care of them.
I mean, I have +5 wisdom. I'm sure I can do it.
Well, it's totally okay, because the Augmenites were brought in to help.
Concern, deep concern.
You know, I showed one of my friends my character sheet and they got mad at me. They're like, you rolled for one of the best clerics and you made him a what?
I am a fan of suboptimal characters.
I told them, I was like, I purposely did this in the way that would make it the least helpful paladin. So, nope, this is on purpose.
Which is why I usually play kobolds. Although I will go on record. I don't think I've said this in a recording yet. I may have. I fully expected the party to kill A almost immediately. I was not planning on A being the companion NPC. I expected no kobolds to walk out of that ship alive, except for maybe the one that had the ability to teleport.
And
Walking off the ship? That's teleporting off the ship.
Yeah. You know,
You
is
say tomato.
technically teleporting?
If it's Dimension Door, you're still taking it. If it's Misty Step.
Okay.
There's multiple ways of expedited retreat. Actually, I think expedited retreat is also a spell. Never mind.
Havel said, don't worry, we'll protect you to the poor charmed kobold, and Hobby went, fine, we're protecting this now.
I should have realized that the party would immediately adopt the first sentient being they encountered that wasn't wielding a sword at them.
Uh-huh.
I should have also realized that even if they were wielding a sword, making them be an adorable little kobold would still have you adopt them.
That actually spoke to them.
And got charmed. I mean, I think the failed to save versus charm was the major key here. Percy, did you just sneeze on me?
You started at level 3 and kobolds are CR 1/8. So failing versus charm was almost a done deal at that point.
But yeah, also
And now this is a friend.
But also the fact that I legitimately was not at all in combat, so I was able to befriend with no weird pretenses.
I mean, you did appear with the rest of us, and we did kind of displace a lot of kobolds explosively.
I was on record for being stuck in a bathroom.
That's true.
That's true, however, before the bathroom incident, well, actually, this could explain the bathroom incident. You were all teleported into a hangar bay that was full of kobolds causing them to be rapidly
direction
displaced.
of everyone else.
Yes. At the end of the adventure, you were the only one not covered in red, but instead covered in blue.
Which is how they knew I wasn't lying, which is why I became friends with A. See? It all works out.
As a DM, I'm loving every moment of this conversation. I'm especially loving that we're 13 minutes into the recording, and we're still doing the recap.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I buy my alcohol and alcohol healing items.
Oh, yeah, this is the intermission episode. So you finish an arc, you got paid 2,000 gold for the party for defeating the Kenku named Clockwork, was their actual name. You decided to nickname them TikTok. It's the same sound, but whatever. Technically their name was, but I'm not doing that every time I mention the Kenku's name.
I voted for Repent Harlequin.
There is a reason that Paige's name was Paige.
Paige is turning.
Because I wasn't doing that every time.
Exactly.
And now Milo says, can I interest you in alcohol or alcohol accessories?
Yeah, alcohol and alcohol accessories.
Okay, so let's get into the one of the purposes of today's session, spending spree. So, as has already been stated by Milo, Chadrick is buying only the best of common quality magic items at Quentin's used goods and consignment shop emporium. Magic items were few and far between the last time you stopped in because recently a large amount of Quentin's stock had turned into a mysterious blue smoke and wafted away.
Weird.
But yeah, it was totally weird. Definitely something that some powerful wizard or god did. Definitely not something that any adventurers did as they were, doing something flag related. So Quentin expects to never meet those particular people who destroyed most of his stock. Certainly.
Obviously not.
But adventurers go adventuring. Adventurers bring back things that maybe it's not stuff that they intend to use, but someone else could use. So they give it to Quentin to sell on consignment, and that works out pretty well. I mean, you've all encountered tons of magical items on all of your adventures, right?
Yeah, and we blew them up.
Yeah, we did.
That is canon, actually. That tracks.
And then, of course, we encountered a whole bunch of magical things that we did not touch because they belonged to Cavill's patron.
There was that. The jar that you found... Sorry?
No, I was going to make another snarky comment.
Please do.
I was going to say, but you know what? Blowing up magical items is better than blowing up my house 3 times in a row, Dad.
Look, if your house hadn't been blown up multiple times in the same combat setting, you wouldn't have this nice headquarters made out of 99% non-flammable materials.
I worked so hard to get that theater.
Boom.
You said, I want a children's theater. And the Ogmanite Enclave said, sure, that sounds like a challenge. Here you go.
I worked so hard to make it good, though.
Well,
I wrote all the plays and put all the glitter up and...
The plays were based on movies that the player behind the character has never seen.
And they were all great.
For the record, dear listeners, I am not saying these things to try to prove Milo wrong. They were fantastic, and I enjoyed every moment of it, including having an undead groundhog appear at a point where the audience thought it was part of the play because it was thematically appropriate. It did eat one of the cast members. That was a problem, but never mind.
Yeah, it's because they missed their cue.
I don't think you moved that time, though.
No, I didn't roll the move that time.
No, not that time. In any case, what are these items that Chadrick buys from Quentin's used goods and consignment shop emporium?
Oh, let me look. So I got myself a tankard of plenty that will refill itself 3 times a day. And then an amulet of the drunkard that makes it so when I drink said alcohol, I get healed.
And can you get inebriated from the alcohol when you're using this ability?
I can't.
It did say you don't.
Check again.
Let's see.
Oh, did it? Oh.
It doesn't say. so I think I might be able to. I'm just looking at my character because I know that I can't get poisoned or I can't get diseased.
No, it's not. It doesn't say on your character whether you can or not.
Yeah, the item doesn't say. So I'm guessing that I can get drunk.
So this could end up being a problem.
I can refill it 3 times a day. And do you think Chadrick's the type of guy to get drunk on 3 drinks?
I think there's a party member that's going to need healing more than anyone else in the campaign.
Isn't that great?
And they are very, very small.
Oh, Christ. Oh, no, I'm gonna give alcohol poisoning to A.
I feel fine.
No. I still have my lay on hands. I'll probably try my best to do lay on hands mostly. With
Lay on hands does not cure conditions.
Oh, no.
It only restores hit points. And the hit points will have already been restored because you gave A an alcoholic beverage and an amulet that meant if you drink alcohol, you heal hit points.
To give him alcohol.
But the nice thing about this 1-2 punch... Well, it only works once per day.
Yes.
And the nice thing about this 1-2 punch of magical items is, like many common magical items, they do not require attunement. So you literally could say, here, wear this and drink this.
Uh-huh.
No, wrong order.
Wear first, then drink. That's okay. I think you get 3 pints of booze out of that.
Yeah, you could try more than once. Pillage first, then burn. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No. Speaking of command word, while grasping the handle of the plenty, fills the tankard with 3 pints of rich dwarven ale. And the amulet means that you need a pint of beer, ale, mead, or wine. So if you don't drink the whole thing at once, then you can just put the amulet on and drink another pint.
Yeah. Unless Chadwick's already drank the other charges because he was like, well, you only need one of them for the healing.
Well, yeah, but at least a tanker can do it 3 times a day, so.
It's a gift to myself.
All I'm saying is this is a gift to add RP into our next combat session.
True.
What do you do with a drunken Chadrick? What do you do with a drunken Chadrick?
What do you do with the drunken kobold?
So I'm thinking maybe Chadrick should multi-class into monk.
Falling on the battlefield. Oh, hey, he rise.
Look, I'm perfectly okay to fight, but I wish to point out that the number of enemies we have seems to have tripled. It's okay. It looks like the number of fingers I'm holding up has also tripled. Yes, there is a monk subclass called Way of the Drunken Master, and I am now worried that Milo is aware of this, if Milo was not already aware of this.
Was not already aware of this, but I don't want to make Chadrick too useful.
If it's any consolation, I don't think monks are supposed to wear armor. I think that limits their abilities. So Chadrick is already not the best of paladins, but would end up being not the best of monks.
So these are nerd mix.
No good could come from this if your goal is to min-max. I'm here for this content. Speaking of content,
it's a perfect character for Milo.
I live for chaos. Anyway.
Well, it's why this campaign exists, apparently. So, is there anyone else who buys a thing or 3?
Hobby is going to probably cash out like a few gold, a very few gold, have them changed for smaller coins, and is then going to go try to reverse pickpocket them into the pouches and pockets of people she considers to be deserving.
Tex is going to spring for an exceptionally thorough buffing, waxing, oiling, and degreasing.
At the end of it, Tex looks like C-3PO at the end of episode 4.
Oh, does the washing have like the multicolored foam?
It had, well, better.
I'm thinking of the fun car washes.
Yeah.
You see Tex standing on one of those conveyor belts slowly going through. The giant wheel of absorbative cloth that's covered in foam just starts smacking Tex repeatedly. Tex takes a few hit points of damage, but it's okay. That's how you know it's working.
Tex has a few to give. Working at the bot wash. Working at the robot wash. Come on, y'all, and sing it with me.
They probably have someone who can do a, heal spell at the end anyway.
Someone comes out to do detailing afterwards.
Yes.
Reattach anything that got knocked off. Stuff like that.
How horrible of a mix would this be?
Well, if you're starting with working at the car wash, it can't be that bad.
Everyone knows.
Beyond won't let me multi-class because of how weak Chadrick is.
Someone out there is saying bullet dodged. Not me. I'm already on record.
It says I had to have strength 13.
You're gonna have to start going to the
literally
gym.
weak.
Yeah.
So next time you level up and you have the option of picking a feat or ability score increases, you're gonna have to go to the gym and do some lifting.
Cause I have 11 strength.
You need to lift more than a cheg stand.
It's horrible.
Chadrick takes his armor off. Everyone sees that instead of a six-pack, he has a keg.
Yeah.
The armor hides it.
Okay, I have just had the funniest possible idea, at least to me, which is Tex, strength training Chadrick.
Oh my god.
You wouldn't need weights.
1023, 1024, 1000. Are you saying you cannot go on? Very well. Perhaps my style of strength training is not appropriate to you. I know someone else with an 18 strength who may be more appropriate. Mech, would you come here, please?
We are going to try endurance training. Notice how large this hammer is that I have. I will begin to chase you. When I'm with range, I will hit you very hard with this hammer.
This is already a Jackie Chan movie.
I won't be able to improve my score until I'm level 8.
Should have been a fighter. We get him every 2.
But that wouldn't fit what I want.
Could take fighter a couple levels.
No, I can't multi-class. I'm too weak.
Oh.
You can't multi-class to get more ability points to be stronger because you're too weak.
Oops.
No,
To get
I can't even multi-class
points.
as a freaking spellcaster. Let me multi-class at all.
Well, if we can dial this back just a bit, do recall, and this is one of the things I like about all of these characters, but in particular Chadrick, suboptimal. I love suboptimal characters.
I never thought it would make it so I couldn't make him more suboptimal. I'm trying to make him worse.
He's too weak to become worse.
The thing is, and this is one of the reasons I like Tex. Tex is really, really optimal at one thing. If you need someone strong who can take a beating, Tex is your girl.
I would like to point out another thing that Tex is really good at. Letting the rogue that goes after Tex have a really good day.
That's true.
Wait, you mean I get an extra attack at advantage? Really?
That tone of voice always makes me think of Panthers, which
Gorillas?
is a joke nobody will get because they haven't watched the videos that I've sent them.
I recall the mentioning of Panthers. I think this is a recent conversation we've had.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's from Technical Difficulties. One of the guests on one show, it was, what kind of animal do you think got rid of the Stevens Island wren? And the answer was panthers.
I mean, it was a feline.
House panthers.
And the response was, I can think of nothing more terrifying than going into a hotel, lying down on the bed, and hearing you say that from one of the cupboards.
Okay, anyways, I just realized we're still recording. So what are we?
Yeah, we had a game to play.
Well, we've been playing. We're like 50 minutes in, I think.
You can tell how tired we
No,
are.
30 minutes.
The timer is all the way over there on my third monitor. It's hard to see.
You can tell how tired we all are.
Well, yes, this isn't going to go live until October, if not later. But this was my first week back at school, my first full week back at school. And I will not be someone who says that I had it worse than everyone else because of that. I'm only saying, me too. I'm having it bad too. So, yay, fun. Yes, we are still recording. Yes, this is all happening. Yes, most of this is probably going to be in the edited version.
Boy.
Because it is amusing to me.
I wonder how many out of context quotes we can generate.
I might just have
so
to make a
far, all of them.
transcript. Including this interaction just now.
halo. There's a halo above my head. Please ignore the stick.
There's a new monster in Spelljammer that has a halo. You might encounter one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, spoilers.
I meant to mention this as like a headliner for the open mic night.
Yeah.
And did not, and that's my bad.
That's fair.
And
I think I've seen this video.
it's a great act.
I refuse to click on it while I'm recording, but
is anyone out there from out of town? Good. Who has a birthday today?
So
Good.
that I can't multi-class. That's all I'm thinking about.
Oh no.
That's all that I'm thinking about.
Chadwick is there just fuming into his magically created ale,
No, pretty much.
going, why did my skills have to be signed integers so they wouldn't roll over and end up being good?
You could find a minor god to follow as like secondary to your major god, the god of partying and the minor god of alcohol.
The god of partying's name is, because it's not really a single god. It's more of just the ethos of partying. So I just don't really know how I'm even a paladin. Let's be honest. Who am I calling on when I do divine sense? Who is giving me a celestial weapon?
Whoever it is, they must be drunk.
That's just it. Chadwick's god is so inebriated all the time, except for the times that god has a hangover, that they're either too inebriated to contact Chadwick and let Chadwick know their divine wishes, or they're too hungover to want to talk to anyone, because when a god whispers, it is still like the entire world is reverberating.
That whoever the god of partying is so drunk that they never have gotten around to talking to me.
You see, you all thought we were just going to have an intermission episode where you'd spend some money and do open mic night. No, we've got some deep lore about Chadwick's backstory here.
Oh, wait. Funnier option.
Oh no.
The god of partying won't talk to Chadwick until Chadwick remembers what his name is.
Of course I know your name,
His
guy.
Dude.
I love everything about this. Related side tangent that I'm...
What if the god is my dad?
Oh no.
Oh no.
At least
Pronounce
Chadwick's
my
not
dad.
Samar.
What if my
Yeah,
dad?
the god isn't your dad. Their name is M''DAD.
Okay, but like, what if my dad was like a master of the drunken fist, and I just worship him from afar in the future, in the past, future past.
And somehow get paladin spells from it.
I just really love my dad. Okay.
You ever love your dad enough that you get magic powers? I believe in him and his credit cards.
Look, all I'm saying is there's a certain warlock in a previous campaign named Morley where this might play in a bit more than everyone involved is comfortable with.
I mean, my last warlock worshipped a fake version of Sonic the Hedgehog, so like...
Excuse you, what do you mean fake?
It was a quickling, not an actual god.
Details.
That's a spoiler. I think that's the first time that's been said on stream.
I mean, that's fake.
I
That's
think that's the first time that's been said in front of other players.
That's all right.
Wait, I missed what the spoiler was.
The spoiler is Paige's god, Gazika,
Yeah,
was not actually a god.
yeah.
It's a quickling. Quickling are minor fae. They've got no power they can
Right.
hand over. So Gazika stole power from a more powerful fae to give to Paige.
So I can hide it.
And the
love
reason why Gazika was possessing Paige's familiar, who was in the form of a hedgehog, as you remember, a little blue hedgehog, was because Gazika got found out,
And then was
It has-
hiding with me.
has gone into hiding.
So that was the spoiler. I was like,
Yes.
of course Gazika's a thing.
Yeah, Gazika had 0 powers.
I just
Except
think
gotta go
Gazika was an
fast.
exceptionally powerful quickly.
No, Gazika had none powers. All blue. Left blue.
Hello, EO.
We haven't done any plot except for talking about who Chadrick's god is.
Yeah, this session has either been going splendidly well for about 40 minutes or has not gotten started yet. Your guess is as good as mine.
Both.
No,
I don't know.
We,
Have you done the introduction?
We have,
we tried real hard.
and got so far, but in the end, none of this mattered.
We have done maybe a half of a bullet point of starting the actual stuff, and the rest of it is just talking about Chadrick's god.
Yeah, we have deep lore reveals. More than one. They are mutually exclusive.
But
It might be both. Chadrick's god might be constantly inebriated, almost never talks to anybody, and also is totally not talking to Chadrick until Chadrick remembers his god's name, because, dude, that's so rude. I give you spells and do you remember my name? Do you even bring me booze?
Me almighty.
Who
that
dis?
just makes booze.
New spell book, who dis?
Anyway.
Yeah, Tex got a deep cleaning, and Chadrick bought a couple of magic items, and
Hobby changed about 5 gold into silver and started reverse pickpocketing it into people, because this feels like a vaguely righteous cause and also an excuse to practice sleight of hand. And I rolled an 11, and I have a +7 modifier, so hopefully an 18 will let Hobby put money into people's pockets.
And I'm fairly certain that A now has several tens of thousands of copper pieces because they're not comfortable with having currency larger than copper.
This is why we keep it in the flag bank, right?
Yeah, but if it's tens of thousands of copper pieces, then A can swim around in it like Scrooge McDuck.
Like a tiny little dragon.
No, I'm definitely not doing that. My clan decided that was a bad idea and made some bylaws against it after the incident.
The incident?
We don't talk about the incident.
In that case, I recommend keeping the money in the bank.
It does have a name, though.
This is a different incident from the other incident that I mentioned, and also the other incident that there's a lot of incidences.
Can I?
The incident that A brought up this time actually is called Bruno.
Can I read A's mind to figure out what the incident was?
Sure.
You're going to make the cheat.
Your ability to read minds, does that require a roll to see surface thoughts?
No, I just can do it.
Okay, it is very much like the Scrooge McDuck imagery, except
coins don't work like water.
Yes, physics were involved, and they weren't cartoon physics.
How dare they?
Squish.
Never let that happen.
Splat. Crunch.
Also, maybe they shouldn't have started with an attempt at a high dive.
Ooh, yeah.
Gross
Why
coins.
does D&D Beyond suddenly have antimatter rifles in it?
Spelljammer.
Okay, that would explain it.
That or homebrew.
But Ed would have been able to fit them.
I appreciate. This is something that I noticed and I liked in the DuckTales reboot, the new cartoon that they've been doing. Nobody else can do that coin diving thing. That's something only Scrooge can do.
That is his magically attuned object, his pool of gold.
It's not the pool. It's not the gold. It's the building.
If anybody else tried that, we'd break our necks.
Scrooge McDuck has lair actions.
No, it
yes, Scrooge McDuck is a polymorph dragon. He's got lair actions and a hoard of gold. This makes total sense.
Does that surprise anyone?
This is really. Technically a session, so yes, you have inspiration.
He values his privacy, doesn't like having other people around, loves his gold, likes treasure.
He always seems to know whenever anyone touches any of his treasure.
Monty starts going around saying, "Why do people keep calling me McDuck? That doesn't make any sense."
What?
And who is Glomgold?
Is Scrooge McDuck my dad?
No.
Are you seriously calling yourself Magica Dispel? You're a spellcaster and you're calling yourself Magica Dispel.
I can tell you right now that Monty would not take issue with that because Monty's granddaughter's name is literally the verbal components for chromatic orb.
Monty's name, Monty himself.
Does not have an imagination.
His name, Monty, is short for Mountain Core.
He'll insist it's short for Montgomery.
At least it's not short for Monty Hall. At least it's not short for Monty Hall.
Python.
Montgomery might have been his original name. Who knows how dragons are named on not Golarion.
All dragons are named after family names of the DM.
Except for Zax.
So I am looking at the information about Chadrick's race. I'm just going to want to say, Chadrick is not very good at it.
This is a spoiler.
I just
No, it's not.
realized that.
It is not a spoiler.
Chadrick's not a good version of his race. I managed to make a suboptimal being.
EO has found a gem because since part of today's session is buying of magical items that are in stock at the consignment shop, EO has found this glorious gem. I will not say the name of the item out loud because I don't know how much EO wants to spoil, but it is a wondrous uncommon item that requires attunement by a requires attunement.
Whoops.
Oh, goodness.
As shown direct from D&D Beyond.
Wondrous item. Uncommon. Requires attunement by a requires attunement.
If you have the D&D Beyond app and it tells you that there is an update to one of the rule books that you have purchased and downloaded, this is one of the things they found and fixed. And I love this. This is glorious. So,
Star are supposed to be lawful and good.
So is there anything else that was on your character's personal list of things they wanted to get done today?
I mean, for me, it was get my alcohol and alcohol accessories, and stay the reigning champ of Talent Night.
All right. Well, open mic night is going to be happening. I'm going to say that this intermission actually lasts several days till we get to the point where it's been a week. So we're ready for the next open mic night. And people can sign up, of course. A is a little nervous that Chadwick is so interested in signing up again.
What did you do?
I'm just not sure if they were laughing with me or at me. Experience has told me that I have no experience in telling the difference.
The thing is that they found the situation funny, and because we were on the stage and doing that for them, they were laughing with us.
If you say so.
They thought you were super cool little dude.
If you say so.
Question, Crash.
Yeah?
Have people been nicer to A since he won the talent show?
During this conversation, I rolled a charisma check for A, and honestly, they thought A did very well during the talent show. A has gotten some compliments. However, A has a self-esteem issue where A ranks themselves maybe slightly above a slime mold because there's some things slime molds can do pretty well, like mapping out ideal routes for subway systems in Japan, apparently. Yes, slime molds are great for that. A would be like, okay, I've got the crayon. Oh, couldn't make a straight line. Give me the ruler. The crayon's all on the ruler now. Could you give me? I think a ruler somehow got in my nose. And then that would be A's experience with trying to map out subway systems.
Subway systems are a bit, well, bidets.
Also, A, you get coins sometimes up there. You can't get more inspiration. You've already got some.
I mean, sometimes you get coins when you're up on the stage, right?
You were talking about the stage. You wrote that before the nose incident. Well, yes, sometimes coins do get up there.
Yeah.
The pockets get full. Sometimes I'm not wearing clothes that have pockets on them. So, you got to put them somewhere. And
you don't want to put them in your cheek pouches because if you swallow a coin wrong, you might choke. Okay, valid.
And I once saw this stage musician where he was like putting coins up his nose and then pulling them out of his ear. Only then I realized I don't have ears.
They're only going to stay in the nose. This is correct.
And then A sneezes and the room is full of copper. This
Well,
is not
that's
canon. That part is not
danger.
canon.
Does this mean
So-
that if A does this, A has a breath weapon?
You already have inspiration. You are not getting more until you spend it, young lady.
Oh my
The
god.
joke in chat, incidentally, about Tex finally giving open mic night a go with a T-Pain song is that all T-Pain's songs are auto-tuned.
Yes, I know. It's beautiful.
I'm just making sure everybody knows. I brought enough for everybody.
That's fair.
Very fair.
Yeah.
I missed it in the scrolling text, so I'm glad you brought that up so I would look up and see that wonderful additional joke that's in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a charisma check a performance check at advantage because you have A helping you.
That's a persuasion check.
Whatever. Starts with a P. Okay, let me try again.
And if you right click, you can have both rolls go at the same time.
Yeah, that would only make sense. 25.
Ooh.
A 19 plus 6 is the high roll. Okay, it is a better performance than previous. And last time you did pretty well.
I know. We won.
A bunch of coins are thrown on stage. Most of them are copper because people aren't throwing like platinum pieces on stage for the most part. But it adds up to about 20 gold that you get from coins being tossed on stage from your performance.
And I split it in halvesies, right? Yes.
A will gladly accept 10 gold for that. Now, while this is happening, while the two of you are on stage, the rest of you are doing something. It's possible that Tex is getting ready for her wonderful T-Pain cover rendition. What's everyone else doing?
Hobby is probably up on one of the Tabaxi platforms, properly watching things, unless everybody else is closer.
I forgot that I put a Tabaxi tree in flag headquarters.
I'm giving a rundown of everything he did well.
Figured
The
Hobby
best-
likes Tabaxi.
The best part about this is I asked what are people doing while the two of you are on stage. So in the middle of the performance, you're saying, hey, you're doing a great job with this. I'm proud of you.
Let it not be said that Chadrick. It cannot be said that Chadrick is not a supportive friend to A.
Now, for the record, you already have a 25 on your performance check. So
Part of the performance.
you do this, and the crowd applauds. You are all doing your best as an audience and participants in trying to boost A's self-esteem. I will
You're a
not
rock
tell you this
star.
works.
On a centaur. Where did he get a centaur?
He's actually in one of the adventuring cohorts.
Makes sense.
The best part is that the centaur is Markiplier.
I know it is. It's beautiful. 1 second.
I am browsing magical items.
During my performance?
That is also what I am doing, not in character. So it
Look,
works
if
out.
they have microphones, I'm pretty sure that even though the consignment shop is, if you look at the map, as far away as it can be from the stage without leaving the campus, it is possible that you are still encountering the experience that is Chadrick and A's stage routine.
Wonderful.
It is not unending positivity, okay? I am doing my existence is hyping A up.
DM thought that we weren't going to adopt a cute mascot in PC.
I was
My
pretty sure you'd
entire-
adopt one eventually. I wasn't expecting you to adopt the first hostile character you encountered.
I told you before, Chadrick's entire
Charmed.
motivation as a character is to help A.
Besides, A wasn't hostile. A was charmed.
Covered in blue toilet goo. Like, I don't care. A is my best friend.
Oh, we have many magical items that apparently Cavill is asking for.
Well, I am asking if any of them are in stock, because that would certainly narrow down which, if any of them, I am going to spend my gold on. I cannot spend my gold on something that is not actually there. It will not help.
So, good news. Wands of Knock are actually mass-produced by Moe's Magical Manufacturing Emporium.
Feels?
That's the name of the company, Moe's Magical Manufacturing Emporium. There's some variations of the name. Apparently, there's multiple companies for liability reasons, in which case, like, if one of them gets sued, then it just goes under and the others just keep doing what they're doing or whatever.
It's not the M's.
You cut out there, what?
I just wanted it to all start with the letter M.
Well, the DM and Moe are both fans of alliteration.
Yeah, because, then it's Moe's Magical Manufacturing Marsupials, and then it's all M's.
Also, we're playing a game called Dungeons and Dragons. Alliteration is kind of the thing.
I'm concerned about these marsupials.
Look, they're union. It's fine.
They have
already
pockets to hold the tools.
We've got precedent with Daldane's Dazzling Dwelling.
So the
This
question
is also true.
is a knockwand actually uncommon, or is it common in the locale?
It's uncommon because of the amount of work that it takes to put into them, but they're produced frequently enough that is an item that is almost always in stock. There is the caveat that they are specifically designed so that they're not going to open everything, which is to say, if you tried to do the whole routine of visiting the home Mo bought for his wife again and try to use that to open the doors, it won't.
I think, considering that we got tricked into that might be a feature rather than a bug.
Mo agrees that it's a feature, and also
Yes.
the rest of the founding members of Flag agree it's a feature because they're also on the do not knock list.
I'm just imagining that. I'm imagining that being used on the doors of Moe's house now, and the doors responding, "Excuse me, did you really try that? Honestly."
A little sign flips over in the window of the door that just says "No solicitations."
Go here.
If we have to go back to that house, we are using the bell pull, and we are waiting patiently to see if anyone answers the door.
No solicitations, he already has a lawyer.
Bong,
Technically, you're not wrong. And you've met him in game. Well, this group hasn't. All right, so looking at the other items, winged boots.
Wait,
I'm waiting.
are you telling me that we could have been traveling with Moe's lawyer?
You specifically, Ellie, your character, specifically tried to hire the lawyer. The rest of the party threatened immunity and a party split over it.
I'm going to have words with certain people.
I love everything about this. So for the winged boots, it's one of those things where Quentin says, well, let me check in the back. But yes, he has them. He just wants to make it sound like that it's a harder thing for him to get. But he does have some winged boots he got in. They look like Converse sneakers. Is that okay?
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it's sorry about that. Is turquoise okay as a color?
I'm a bard warlock. If my clothes don't clash fascinatingly and compellingly, what am I even doing with my life?
Okay, so you have the most 80s Converse winged boots imaginable.
Okay, I'm going to buy those.
The aglets have little plastic dangles on them.
I'm going to buy those. You, the GM, have successfully sold me on that.
I keep giving more details. It's like, no, you've made your sale.
They're already on my feet.
I'm already flying away.
Yeah, I'm already flying away. You don't need to tell me more.
Okay, but wait, I haven't told you about the other awesome thing. Gone!
I'll figure it out later.
And if they don't already have bat wings on them, I am going to probably glue little aftermarket bat wings to them.
You know what? Let's just have it be canon. They are little bat wings.
The Batman kind.
Yes. Adam West Batman.
Really nice purple that goes well with that blue.
Actually, Tex isn't going to get any magical items right now, but she would like to talk to someone about putting a bounty on the location of a set of blue dragon scale mail. Not getting it, just the location.
How much of a bounty are you willing to put in?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking about.
Okay. Well, member services is where you'd go to talk about this, and because that's where people go for assigning quests.
Right.
And they're like, well, you set the price, and we'll put that on the questing board, and we'll see if anyone finds something.
I'm asking for advice on what people usually ask.
Well,
for the location of something like this.
Well, see, the thing is, blue dragons come in a wide variety of sizes. If you offer a really large bounty, you might end up finding a larger dragon, but it might be a small dragon anyway. If you offer a small bounty, you're either going to get tips for a small dragon or dead adventurers.
I think I've miscommunicated. I'm not looking for a blue dragon.
No, you were looking for armor made from blue dragon scales.
Right. Pre-existing armor made from blue dragon scales.
That's a bit harder.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Curse a real sword?
A real sword? Ugh. I don't know. What kind of sword?
Real.
Ugh. What kind of armor?
Blue.
We can do blue. But what material do you want the blue armor made out of?
I've lost the plot.
We had a plot? No, you. I know you're looking for blue dragon scale armor. The problem with it is most people who own dragon scale armor tend to not want to give it up. We knew of Red's dragon scale armor that there was this kobold barbarian that had it, and they did eventually give it up, but they gave it to another kobold barbarian, and that barbarian still has it, and they won't let it go.
I was thinking perhaps something in a collection somewhere.
Okay. You know what? Hold on to your money for now. I'll make a few notes. We'll ask around. But we don't know of any collections right now. But there are people who work in this guild who know people who know people.
Indeed. I will be happy to do the work of acquiring it. I simply would like to put out a bounty for its location.
Well, we understand that you've done more than one assignment for Mo. I mean, I was sitting in the back over here when last time you talked to Mo.
Oh, this is a long-term quest.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you've actually had multiple conversations with one of our founding members. So consider this an on-the-house service.
I see. Thank you.
No problem. The DM's going to have to take a while to think about what to do with blue dragon scale armor that might be somewhere on the planet. Oh, I didn't mean to say that out loud. Ignore this fourth wall right here.
I flop over because of course I do. I'm just like, why just ask Mo?
Mo's on vacation.
He's not here.
It's not here,
Contact
man.
him? Can we get his Instagram account or whatever we call it?
Technically, it's not an Instagram account. It's only showing up on Cavill's tablet.
Yeah.
And most of the posts are selfies taken by accident or social media posts that are done with the thought that it's actually search engine posts.
Perfect. Let me see.
Oh my goodness.
It's like Riker's Googling.
Riker Googling.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what it's based off of. That's exactly what it's based off of.
Okay, a question. I know the answer is no, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
This is content.
So my mind link says I can talk to any creature I can see. If I'm looking at a picture of Mo,
Patrick, stop looking over my shoulder.
can I talk to Mo?
I can... Well, yes, the answer is no, because ceci n'est pas un pipe.
Because I can see him.
No, you're looking at a picture of Mo.
You
If
can
the
see
picture of Mo was Mo, then you could talk to Mo.
We're starting
And
to
you
get
can
You
into
can talk to the picture.
Yeah,
Can I
you
get
can,
mentally
into
attune-
these again?
You could mentally communicate with the tablet.
Yes, tell me, tablet. Tell me your secrets.
1-0-1-1-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0.
110.
I just would
It's
like
deliberately talking very slowly because it knows Chadrick won't understand.
Oh my god.
1.
0,
And I'm
0.
writing this down and having Tex read it out loud to me.
Oh goodness.
It ends up being something that's rather insulting, but Tex would have to explain it to anyone who's not a Warforged or otherwise a construct for about half an hour before they realize how it's insulting.
I thought I should ask, because you never know.
This is content, and I appreciate this. And
Because
also,
I just also want you to imagine that Chadrick did try.
okay,
Absurd as it sounds, we've been playing for about an hour.
I was actually just about to mention this, so let's take a short break, and when we come back, there is a thing that's going to happen during Texas' performance, which is coming up. And
I can't believe we're having plot.
how dare I? How very
Especially
dare
after
I?
this last hour of me just talking about Chadrick's dad.
I gave you chaos.
My dad.
Now let's have some slightly differently flavored chaos right after this break.
It's a toggle.
Press on.
Pretty much.
Press on.
More or less. And we're back. And the timer for the recording is now going up again. And Tex is on stage doing a cover of a T-Pain song. I don't know which one because, honestly, I have no knowledge of T-Pain other than that he was on a boat once.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat.
Yeah. I'm going.
I think that's most of the lyrics that we can say in this recording.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think Milo has already said two things that I need to cut out, but never mind about that.
No. I do know the clear lyrics of that song. That song came out when
they weren't
that was
lyrics.
important.
They weren't lyrics. They happened before the break.
Oh.
Yeah. It's all good.
I'm very tired.
We all are. The plague's been going for 5 decades now.
Yeah.
Yep.
In 84 years.
Something like that. All right. So Tex is on stage, and Tex, give me a performance check.
All right. No, I don't think I will.
You know, I was going to make a comment about you saying that before the roll showed up, but you rolled too fast. But yeah, that's a 3+2. So the audience is completely silent.
Oof.
Now, there have been mechanical beings on stage before. The last open mic night you went to, there was a being on stage whose name was, dang, I forget. Their nickname was Jenny. It was the phone number from the song was their name, and I totally forget it right now because we're all tired. This has been established. And they got some kind of polite applause.
8675309.
Thank you. They got some polite applause like, oh, you're done now. Okay, thank you.
I spent some inspiration over the bridge, by the way. It got a little better.
Okay, wonderful. You got an 11. The audience is still completely silent. They are just staring at you.
So good.
Give me a perception check.
Oh no.
No, I don't think I will.
Okay, no, with a 9, they're just staring at you. Their expressions are not shock or horror or disdain. They're just like they're waiting for you to get started. With a 15, Chadrick, you think it's kind of weird because wherever you were, everyone has also stopped moving, and also they don't seem to be breathing.
People aren't breathing. This is normal.
Also, someone at the bar is pouring a drink. The liquid is not flowing.
Well, your kids are going to enjoy this.
There's problems. The technical difficulties with the audience.
I'm sorry. I had to make the Back to the Future joke.
Fair. But yeah,
And that's fair and valid.
I let it be known that there is a technical difficulty.
Audience.exe has crashed.
Exactly.
Abort,
I'm like,
retry, restart.
So,
Wait,
There's some weird
can I hear Chad say this?
Oh yeah, you hear Chadrick saying all this.
okay,
Everyone who is part of this conversation, your character can move around just fine. Your characters are seeing and hearing and breathing. No one
Raise your
else.
hand if you can still raise your hand.
Hobby
I
waves.
think I can. A is using one hand to raise the other hand.
Okay,
Can I
so
finish magic item shopping?
that gets rid of my my hypothesis.
Io, I think it's canon that not only have you finished magic item shopping, but you have flown out of the store wearing your new boots.
Yes.
So yes, you are. I don't know if you're still flying around. I know I would still be personally. It's like having slippers of spider climbing and standing on the ceiling to assert dominance. Only the ceiling is just one of so many areas where you're going. You don't need ceilings.
I mean, it's like the fact that Paige just flew on her magic broom the moment she got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hobby needs some spider
All right.
climb slippers.
Whoever is doing this, show yourself.
I'm like, to perceive where it's coming from? May I?
I will say I'm not going to require you to re-roll. I'll go with the 15. That's fine because they're not actively trying to hide. There is a young-looking woman with fluorescent purple hair that looks kind of like it. Like there's light sources in here, but you have a feeling that if all the light sources were extinguished, the hair would be glowing. It's possible that if someone cast a sphere of darkness on this person, the hair would dispel it. It's that level of
your fashion choice.
So is that where it's coming from?
Well, this person is not someone who any of you have seen before, and they are sipping their drink. So they're still moving.
Their brain. Can I go into their brain and find out if it's them?
Oh,
Give me a charisma check.
Oh,
the purple.
With a 5.
no. You can't go into people's brains, Tex.
Tex tries really hard.
I can if they're big enough.
Yes, continue.
Not wrong, but also very wrong.
Not right.
For different definitions of the word wrong.
Anyway.
It's okay. We could beat the Tarrasque. We just need to get inside its head. But it has such a low intelligence. No, you misunderstood. We need to get inside its head. Hand me that bone saw.
But yes.
How good are you at teleportation spells?
No.
The DM has made himself laugh. The DM will give himself inspiration.
No.
So with a 5, it's not a forceful interaction, but it's kind of like you are politely, gently held back from entering her head. Like, she's not really interested in you digging around inside her head right now. So...
Cast sleep.
Why?
They're doing something weird.
So, my understanding is for sleep, with current 5th edition rules, without me looking it up, correct me if I'm wrong, but it gives you a max number of hit points that will fall asleep.
Yeah.
What's the number of hit points?
5d8.
Roll 5d8.
Okay. Let me see how to do this correctly.
Exclamation point roll 5d8.
Does the exclamation point work anymore, or do you have to use slashes?
Well, no, I'm just gonna do it in the doodad.
Oh.
In the D&D Beyond.
In that case, sleep should have a thing on it that says 5d8, and I think
22
that should work.
Okay, up to 22 hit points are about to fall asleep. I'm just going to take a nap over here if nothing's happening.
I was going to say.
I am almost certain A was not the target of the spell, so A is not being affected by the sleep spell. A is just tired.
It's
fair.
It's everyone within a 20-foot sphere of the point determined by Chadrick.
Yeah, but I choose their cup of tea. Tea, Gromit.
You're saying that it's sleepy time tea?
It is now.
If
but
A is
unfortunately,
within 20 feet, if A is within 20 feet of that cup of tea, then A is probably the person with the lowest hit points.
But it's cup of tea.
It is not A's cup of tea. No one falls asleep.
Dang it. I tried. It was a good try.
Wow, so hostile.
How glowy is this person in the sense of detect magic, I mean?
As bright as the sun.
Like, dude, we're in the middle
or
of
as dark as a black hole.
We're in the middle of having a great time and you're totally harshing on Mello, man. That's not cool.
Oh, I just came here to chat. You are very hard to track down. I mean, I knew that you hung out here, but every time I stopped by, you were on the other side of the world or traversing through the sewers. Why sewers? Why is it always sewers? That makes no sense to me.
You could have come to find us there.
So what's up?
Well, I wanted to thank you. You did me a big solid.
What?
Well, you took my former home and kind of spread it over the entire astral plane. That was real nice of you.
Chadrick has no idea what's going on. Oh no.
Ellie, the player, knows exactly what's going on.
Oh yeah, this NPC has met characters run by, actually I think at this point, every one of the players has had a character meet this NPC before.
Is this one of the liches?
Is this the person that Chroma decided was her new best friend? I mean,
you have to ask Chroma.
narrow down that. Is this the person from the domain of dread who Chroma decided was her new best friend?
It's possible.
Well, the domain of dread is what we destroyed when we destroyed that giant crystal.
Yeah.
As far as I recall.
For the record, you didn't destroy it. It was sent to the astral plane and kind of sort of scattered. It lost all cohesion whatsoever. All the nanites that were making it up were spread over the entirety of the astral plane. And the thing about the astral plane is it's really, really big. So
homeopathic nanites.
So
something like that, and about as
this?
useful.
Not that I'm saying that you should be mad at us. I'm quite glad you're not, apparently. But you're happy your home was spread over the entire astral plane.
Former home. You see, well, here's the thing. The singing monolith, as the Ogmanites, we're calling it. That's not what we called it, but that's what they called it. We called it, and she says a word in a language that none of you knows what it is.
The AOL CDs.
Yes, Hero would understand the language.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, where was I? I got distracted by an out-of-context conversation.
Okay, Kevin.
Oh, I probably should not introduce Kevin to this person. Because she would want to investigate, and that would be bad. Canonically bad.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, it's been around since before recorded time for this world. Since before the moon made a big crater that you call your inner ocean in the middle of this continent. What's left of it anyway. And at the time that happened, that's when we created it. And I was an apprentice then. And after that, time sort of stopped for us. So for untold eons, I've been an apprentice to some really passive-aggressive people. And in one case, just aggressive. Okay, more than one case. 3 or 4 cases. 5, if you count her. Yeah, 5. 5 cases were just aggressive, not passive. So, with them out of the picture for at least the next 50 years, I'm kind of free. Thank you for that. I knew it'd pay off when I hitched a ride with those kobolds. I should probably tell them I hitched a ride. I'll tell them later.
So, you're a terrifyingly powerful entity of unknown motives who we've set free on an unsuspecting universe. Cavill is grinning as they say this, by the way. The way they are saying it, they make it sound like this might be a compliment.
18 Arcana check. I'd like to know exactly what this is.
You're with an 18 Arcana. Your best guess is exactly what you heard Cavill describe it as.
I just want it to be known that, Shatter is now cool with this whole situation because he totally gets it. It sucks when your boss is, passive aggressive to you for, no reason. Because you want to, do stuff, and, they don't, and it's just so annoying.
No, they had a reason. They were horrible people.
Yeah, it's the worst.
They were in league with the Elder Gods that came in and started wreaking havoc on the planet. Then they were in league with the gods that were fighting the Elder Gods. Then they helped bring about the Tarask. Then they couldn't kill the Tarask. Then they decided, well, the world's going to get blown up, so we might as well make a domain of dread to keep us safe and hijack the Marut that's going to be making sure that if anyone finds the Tarask here and tries to weaponize it, they'll just blow up the world again. But no, we had to nerf that. It was a whole bad situation. So I'm glad I'm out of all that, and I can just pursue my research without any more interference. Thank you for that.
I got a question. This is a god-related question.
Ask away.
Do you know who my god is?
I don't even know who you are. All I know is
Chadrick McCoolguy, and I'm a paladin of partying, and I don't know who my god is.
That's sad. Anyway, we made a few gods. I don't think we made yours.
Oh, dang it.
We didn't do a lot of partying.
I do. I'm really good at partying.
I might have to research that
why
sometime.
he doesn't remember who
I invented the cheg stand.
Well, and she looks at you for a little while, and her eyes flicker a little bit. Maybe you didn't see it, maybe you did. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It doesn't matter. Huh. Your blood alcohol level is, that's supposed to be fatal.
My secret cap. I'm always drunk.
Like, it's listing the blood cells in parts per million, not the alcohol molecules. But
Yeah. Yeah.
are you sure you're not part dwarf? No, there's no dwarf DNA in you.
No. The thing
Could
is
I
that
study you?
will it hurt? Do I get to drink more?
But when she asked, can I study you, she has moved forward to the point where she's now within 5 feet of you. She was over 20 feet away from you before. She's also not standing. She's sort of just floating in your face.
That's cool.
And I will say the expression on her face is perhaps slightly manic.
Fine.
That are extremely manic?
Ooh. Now let me know if this hurts. Give me a Constitution save.
14.
It does hurt, but you can't let her know. You have been turned in your composite organs.
What?
Oh, yeah. Now, skin is an
Cleft.
organ. That's over there. All the other organs are kind of spread out. They're still kind of attached.
Like this.
Neat. Oh, I just made an insight check. The rest of you look like you're a little squicked out by this. Okay, fine. I'll put them back. You're back together.
Thank goodness.
So
That was weird.
Thank you, and also that was fascinating. And I don't think I needed to see that much of Chadrick, but
Did you learn something?
I got more questions than answers right now. Last time I did that, there was a lot less bodily fluid, but then again, it was a Warforged last time.
So you haven't been talking over me? You just literally haven't been able to hear me for the last 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Correct.
Most
yeah,
likely.
sorry.
Haven't heard you, Ellie. Sorry.
Your mic did the thing that it's been doing.
It's not my microphone, it's my internet.
Yeah.
I'm going to glare judgingly at your internet service provider.
Oh no, it's not my internet service provider. I have to replace the cable in my walls.
I'm
No.
going to glare judgingly at your walls.
Gosh. Anyway.
Tex was going to ask Cavill to do something, but the time for that has passed.
But yeah, no, I mean, I guess by becoming a paladin, I've become mostly alcohol. That's fine. They did say I had a drunken aura, and that's why I wasn't allowed to walk the dogs anymore, is because I made them drunk just by being around me.
Weird.
I know, right?
But then again, gods are weird in general. I never really understood them.
But you know,
I
I
mean,
did just pick
This
up this
explains
amulet.
so much.
I did just pick up this amulet that makes it so getting drunk heals you. So that's at least I can be useful.
Oh, that's what that is. Oh, quaint. To each their own. Anyway, I
It's
never
not like I
really
have any other
understood.
healing spells.
Never really understood gods much because they always limited themselves to just like a portfolio of things that they could do, and then they kind of made that their whole wheelhouse. Really limited their expectations and their abilities. Anyway, I wanted to just stop by and tell you thanks, which I've done several times now, and to tell you maybe just as a way of saying thank you, a favor to you. Just say maybe avoid the astral plane for a little bit.
How long is a little bit?
Well,
How long does it take to reassemble something atom by atom?
oh, they're not atoms. They're smaller than that. But
Quarks.
we reach the point of no return around 50 years from now, so don't have much time at all to manage this. I'm hoping to resolve this a bit faster than that, but if you're in the astral plane when this happens, well, you're mortals. I'm not going to be around to put you back together. Let's put it that way.
Wait. What is this? And I suspect that you will want to hear our backstory as well.
Oh, I know. You're time travelers from the distant future. You came back to destroy a future that you didn't want to be because of someone who I helped out earlier, who I'd be helping out again. But you prevented that scenario from happening. So hopefully that future doesn't exist. And I'm actually kind of surprised you still exist.
What person
Geoforce will.
are you referring to?
Oh, JR.
I see.
I upgraded him.
What a wonderful development.
And also maybe kind of put a lot of nanites inside of him so I could build a small base with my consciousness in it outside of the domain of dread, so I could be able to act freely without the oversight of my superiors. But I'll tell him that later.
Well, as long as the future we came from is destroyed.
Oh, it still might happen.
There's a whole bunch of time travelers who are now looking at her with varying expressions, I'm sure.
Do you think
Look.
that's why we still exist?
I mean, it could be. It could be you just moved laterally from one timeline to another. Or, actually, no, you went back in time. So it's more like a zigzag. It's like you're that middle part of a letter N.
Just accepted that he exists out of sheer force of will, and that's good enough for him.
Whatever floats your boat. Or travels
He
your
doesn't
time.
need to understand what's going on to know that he's alive.
So far as this person's concerned, that's for the best, because if she stops to explain everything, well, she's immortal, but even she doesn't have that kind of time.
Well, thank you for letting us know. I suppose we cannot stop you from doing whatever it is you want to do. So I'm glad we could help you.
Oh, it was fun. And so from what I've encountered from researching your alternate timeliney thing that might not be entirely alternate, who knows?
So you know who my dad?
What's that?
You know who my dad is?
I didn't look that far into your personal backstories. No, sorry. I was more interested in seeing how our domain of dread worked out, which it didn't. After we helped, we were kind of turned into raw material to build more Warforged. So, yeah, you helped us in more ways than one, I think. For the best. Well, Glomulero would probably disagree, but Glomulero's a big stick in the mud anyway. So I'm going to go kill him now. Have fun. Bye. And everything starts moving again, and she's not there.
You liked her.
She was cool.
Gonna need a better dagger.
Every time I use this NPC, they have a different hair color.
Do you believe in life after love?
Was it? So random thought that I had, because I was gonna offer her a drink to be polite. But then I had a realization. Do you think that because Chadrick is slowly becoming a walking alcohol bowl, that eventually I'll be able to Spider-Man beer out of my wrist?
So, first thought that immediately popped into my head was, what do you mean slowly becoming? And the second thought is, perhaps not Spider-Man it out of your wrist, because that's a very disturbing image. But I might sit down and homebrew some. I might have to make an alcohol-based subclass for Paladin just for you.
Who's it in?
I made a variation of Dragonborn for Beth.
Thank you.
I made a Warlock subclass for Paige. There is precedent here.
Like, why do I keep having characters that require?
Because the game lets us.
It's so true.
Ellie?
Ellie has gone dark again and silent.
So we're gonna talk about Chadrick's dad. I think Chadrick's
Sorry,
dad
I knew there was going to be at least 60 seconds of discourse about that, so I got up to get a drink.
He's like, I have instigated chaos. Time to step away and avoid the fallout.
I was listening, I just couldn't respond. What were you saying?
I love you so much. That is what I am saying.
I love you too. Anyway, Tex has gone back to singing badly, apparently.
Okay,
Because I can't roll above a 7 tonight.
My sibling just texted me asking why we're down there yelling.
So it looked like Tex got off to a false start from the audience's perspective. But, I mean, there have been well-received bands that got up there and just screamed about darkness and no parents. So, to each their own. It's fine. Give me... well, your last performance check was 16 minutes ago, which didn't work out so well. But you were performing to a stunned audience, literally. So give me a new performance check.
A new dawn for.
That's technically higher.
Can I assist?
You may assist.
How do I do? I haven't assisted in forever. What do I do?
Essentially, you give me advantage.
Yes, you let Tex roll again.
Yeah, I would like to just be like, no, it's okay, false start. You got this.
In my head canon, you get back on stage and try
That
to
was a
beatbox an
17
accompaniment.
the entire time it was sliding across the board.
Physics-based D&D Beyond dice, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between.
Eo, I've got your dice tonight.
I slide down into the seat and I'm just like, you know what? It's fine. I won.
So there is
Do
some
you
polite...
believe in life after love?
Imagine that, but auto-tuned. Because you did say it was T-Pain.
It's because of the deep cleaning. I can't.
Some suds start coming out of your voice box. While you're doing it. The rinse cycle didn't go for as long as it should have.
Oops.
Yeah.
I paid extra.
Well, you had that like rust prevention coat that was put in. It was a wax, but you weren't designed for that. So, about 6 copper worth of coins are tossed up on stage, most of which look like they were thrown at you rather than towards you.
The others were pity coppers.
Also, several pieces of silverware, but those belong to flag headquarters, so maybe you shouldn't.
And then kindly afterward.
Tex will return the silverware to flag headquarters and pass the copper on to A.
Thanks, but I didn't throw these at you.
No, but now you get to keep them.
Oh, okay.
Suddenly he's got hundreds of gold, so he doesn't care about a couple copper.
Oh, no, I don't have the hundreds of gold anymore. I spent that.
On what?
Was it the timeshare opportunity in Plantain?
Well, Chadrick was really interested in going to that, so I thought I'd wait to go with him.
Yeah, go so bad.
Is that what we're doing next? We didn't really decide on our next quest.
Going polite and ask everyone else, but that is definitely where my vote's going.
So, for our listening audience, the quest board is divided into 5 level sections, and the party is now level 5. So, they've out-leveled the first group for the entry-level questers. So, they have a new list of quests they can do. And the current board listings are the following items. 1, fix whatever is giving the Kobold Sewage and Public Works Union nightmares, because they're apparently having nightmares and waking up screaming in the middle of the day, or whatever. Their kobolds are nocturnal for the most part. 2, and whatever Ogmanite experiment went horribly wrong this time. This is a repeatable quest, unfortunately. They just leave it on the board constantly because there's always something. 3, retrieve an item for Mo. This is also repeatable. Mo always has something that he wants somebody to grab. 4, or D, whichever, counting letters or numbers, whatever. Find and close the portal, letting demons into the city of Sandstone.
Be there.
No big rush, but they'd like someone to cut down on local crime. The crime
Demons
being
are
demon
enjoying
summoning.
themselves.
I forget what number this is.
5.
Thank you. Attend this free lunch while we talk to you about our wonderful timeshare opportunity in Plantain. And there's a picture of a palm tree next to that one. I don't think anyone's interested in that one. And the last one on the list, number 6, is help the moon kobolds with a space shark infestation.
Tempt me with the space sharks. But the thing is that nothing's going to stop me from the free lunch at the Hilton Honors luncheon hall.
Now, these entries do change over time, so it's possible that some of these may go away while you're doing others, but it's possible that some of them will stay on the board long enough for you to do them after you do other quests. So it's a gamble if something's going to last long enough for you to do it when you pick something else first, but it's still possible for you to get more than one of these done if more than one of them is interesting to you. We have one very vehement yes for the free lunch.
But a basic person. I also feel like that's way too innocuous and there's going to be something weird there.
Also, it's not being held in Plantain. It's about a timeshare opportunity in Plantain.
I think
I trust
we
the
should
suits.
not do that one.
I don't trust the suits, but I want to go and get the food.
I will buy
The
you
organization
a
is called
lunch.
Snowbirds Incorporated.
I will buy you lunch if we go to the moon.
So we have Tex voting Moon.
Yes, and
Okay.
being willing to pay for Chad's lunch.
I thought the moon kobolds didn't want to see us again.
Well, it doesn't necessarily say that you're going to the moon. It just says you're going to help with fight space sharks.
Writing down letters of encouragement from the back lines.
Concerned about the space sharks.
still mad I didn't get a space shark in Paige's campaign, okay?
They're statted up now.
More concerned.
It's good for Chalupa.
You go kill all the space sharks. There's a angry Kenku warlock in Skelvar just screaming at the top of her lungs.
I made a name for that one.
You send a few corpses of space sharks to that university for study. Paige finds them.
Paige would then try to find a way to talk to friends about animating them and adding them to their undead collection.
Oh, you work for a magic university. There's definitely at least one necromancer on payroll.
Yeah, and I would like to have a pet undead space shark. I don't understand why this is so difficult.
The undead version doesn't have the power to fly, so it just sort of flops on the ground helplessly.
That is perfectly fine. I'll build it in an aquarium.
Oh,
You build an aquarium that's filled with vacuum and anti-gravity.
If anyone would figure that out, it's Paige.
It keeps attacking its reflection in the glass.
God, I'm so for it.
Wouldn't that be a vaquarium, not an aquarium?
You're absolutely correct.
Good point. I'm now concerned about the mice and gerbils that I raised because I kept them in an aquarium, but I did not fill the aquarium with water, but I suppose I was supposed to.
Yeah, I put a vacuum cleaner in there.
well, I suppose if the moon kobolds don't want us taking the moon quest, then they'll tell us to go away again.
Like, you just be like, well, that's fine. We didn't need to help you with the space sharks. Wait up. Second guessing things. They got really big mouths and we're kind of tiny. And do you know they like to eat their prey whole?
I can probably get it drunk.
I can think of nothing worse than a space shark except for a drunk space shark.
While intoxicated.
Anyway,
Wait.
so it sounds like we've got one vote for free lunch, one vote for, I think,
The moon.
one vote for the moon. And I'm trying to think about, was Cabell voting for the moon or saying, well, we could do the moon? And they could say no, and that's okay.
Everyone knows what Cavill's vote is, so on the assumption that this is ranked choice voting, I just misgendered my own character. They are casting their secondary vote for the moon.
What's Cabell's primary vote?
I assume it's retrieve an item from O.
Yes, that is always Cavill's primary vote.
I'm gonna have more than one Mo related quest on the board at some point, and Cabell's just gonna be the astronaut wiping their forehead with two red buttons in front of them.
They want to be a good warlock. They want to help their patron.
Fair and valid. So, we currently have 3 votes cast for 3 different possible quests.
I'm offering to pay for Chad's lunch if Chad will do something other than the timeshare.
But if Chadwick gets a lunch paid for by Tex, then Chadwick can get a second paid lunch.
But also, not gonna lie, okay, a few things. One, this is a single afternoon. This is not a multi-day quest that we're talking about. 2, it's way too innocuous.
So it must be longer than a single afternoon.
But there has to be something else going on here. Are they kidnapping people in Plantain? Plantain had some weird stuff going on in the past few years. Do you guys remember that?
Oh?
No, we were not.
Oh yeah,
here.
we weren't here. I actually asked people about it. There was weird things that happened. There's gotta be weird stuff. What if we meet a Plantain Man?
I mean, a few years ago, the volcano erupted, and they say there's a red dragon hanging out in the volcano now.
Hey, why don't you get yourself some red dragon mail?
Red dragon mail does not protect against lightning.
Oh, fine. But also, I really hope you guys understood my Plantain Florida Man joke.
Yes.
But yeah.
That the thing about the nightmares is that Chadrick has an ability to go into people's minds.
I also literally can't dream, so I can't get a nightmare.
Yes, so you can tap into theirs, find out what it's like, and also possibly find out what's going on, and we could get that one out of the way, and then we could go do Space Sharks.
You know, the thing is, I hate when you use logic because I literally can't have nightmares, and so literally I'm immune to whatever's going on.
I just had this mental image of Chadrick inside Kobold Dreams going, here, little dude, here's your homework. All right, go, have fun. Here, little dude, here's your pants. Go, have fun.
It's just like me standing in there.
This would be perfect for Chadrick for his abilities.
Yeah, I'm just imagining though, like legitimately Chadrick being like, "Where am I? What is this?"
Chadrick encounters fantasy Freddy Krueger, who's going to go by Frederick Krueger because that way I don't infringe on copyright, and just be like, "Oh no, dude, it's fine. Here, drink this. Oh, we're buds now. Hey, don't worry, little dudes. It's okay. We're chill. It's great." The nightmare problem is solved with the power of alcohol.
This is what a dream is? What?
Tex is going to pull Cavil and Hobby aside.
Yeah.
Very well. If we get this done with, then perhaps it will leave the board, and Chadrick will not ask to do it again.
Fine, I'll do the dream thing.
I meant the timeshare.
Share.
We're going to get lunch?
Yes, as long as Cavil and Hobby agree, we are going to get lunch.
Yay!
We should
lunch.
probably go after the nightmares thing after, though.
Yeah,
If it really is just a
that
scam.
sounds fair. But I thought that perhaps doing another adventure in the sewers quickly after getting lunch might prove detrimental to organic beings.
Oh, the guild doesn't live in the parts of the sewers that stink. They do live underground, but, they made a nice home for themselves away from all that.
Yes, but how do we get there?
I can show you where they kicked me out.
Ah, that would be useful.
You mind if I hang behind you the entire time?
Of course, it's fine.
In a comical yet pitiful way?
Well, they don't want you to be part of their...
You cut out.
Say that I glared at Hobby to stop.
I cut out.
Yes, that would be fine.
I glared at Hobby to stop.
It might be that I'm the one who cut out because all of you stopped.
I cut out entirely because my phone went to sleep and Discord doesn't. Anyway, Hobby would like to point out that A is not trying to be part of their guild because that A is now an adventurer. So so A isn't trying to be part of the Kobold Sewage Union. So they shouldn't have a reason to try to kick A out again because A isn't planning on staying. And also A can totally stay behind us.
They have an intense dislike for any kobolds they consider to be moon kobolds because most of the Union were exiled from the moon.
A is exiled from the moon too, so this is completely unfair and
yes,
absolute.
You may stay behind.
Okay.
We should get a little not a bag, but some kind of strap arrangement so that if A wants to, A maybe could hang on to the back of Tex.
One of those baby carrying backpack things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only with more movement agency for the baby.
You get one of the ones that straps onto the front so A's legs and arms can dangle.
Yeah.
Oh, A needs to be able to jump off and on if A wants to.
It's a shame that A is not the kind of NPC where getting a harness would be the appropriate thing. That would be hilarious, though. We've already had those characters in campaigns, just not this one.
Sewer. Not at all. All right. So you're not talking over me. You just can't hear me.
Bingo.
I can hear you now. I heard you say something about the sewer.
I've been talking for like 2 minutes.
Not to our microphone, not to our earphones. Sorry.
I've been trying real hard not to interrupt people, but having people start talking while I was in the middle of the sentence was pretty frustrating.
I can imagine so, and I will continue to glare angrily at the wiring in your walls.
As I was saying, if they have built the entrance to their lair to accommodate me, then they get to see me at my full height. And if they have not, then they get to see me frustrated at having to bend over. Either way, I suspect you will want to be behind me. Either way.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do that tomorrow. I mean, it's open mic night, and you all have except for Chadrick, all have a kind of like daytime schedule, so I've kind of started to switch to that, and I'm sleepy.
Fair.
Indeed.
It's not because I was just within spell range for when Chadrick casts sleep. That's not it.
I should indeed take my 6-hour rest period.
Yeah, let's sleep off our wonderful victory, little dude.
I was going to try to not rub that in after Tex's performance, but okay.
I am a tank. I am accustomed to taking damage so that others may prosper.
Aww.
A gives your leg, because that's as high up as A can reach, a quick hug.
Aw.
All right. So night passes, dawn breaks, somebody casts mending. Probably no one in this group. I don't think anyone in this group has mending. Probably
Not
for
that
the
high
best.
level. I
It's
think
a
Dawn
cantrip.
take a really high level. Yeah.
It's
High
a
level
cantrip.
cantrip. Yeah, well.
It's a that's a, you got to be level 20 to cast that cantrip.
Yes.
Usually best done with a wish
a lot
spell.
of cantrips. I should check.
So it's the following day. You do various things, and now it's time for you to head out and get your free lunch. And as well, it's not time yet, but might as well leave a little bit early or start getting ready a little bit early because this is Chadwick we're talking about, and it might take some effort to get Chadwick up. Chadwick, do you get up at a regular time or actually no, this would be an unregular time, I think, for you to be able to get lunch?
I am able to get up because I understand that sometimes we gotta do stuff.
Okay, so here's a headcanon. Let me know if you think this is a good idea.
No, it's not a good idea. The recoil is going to break your neck.
I love everything about this. At the appropriate time for Chadwick to get up to be ready to get free lunch, Chadwick wakes up to the sound of A standing next to Chadwick's bed, going,
and Chadwick
Tex is going to get in on this.
Wakes up and very, very carefully puts his hand over A's head and taps it twice.
snooze for 5 minutes.
Rich this if you can.
your head too.
Tex is 7 feet tall and you are in bed.
I have a whip.
Give me a roll to hit.
I'm sorry, let me get to my character sheet.
This is not how I intended to end the session, but dagnabbit, this is how we're ending the session.
A 12.
You miss.
Oh, dang it.
Tex has an AC of 17, and that was a called shot if I've ever seen one.
But at least it proves I'm alive.
Yes, you have proven that you are alive and awake enough to understand threats, but not quite awake enough to understand appropriate reactions that involve preservation of life.
Very well. You are alive. You may have 5 more minutes.
You'd think for someone who can't dream, sleep wouldn't be this important, but you're wrong.
Be aware, if you are not up after that 5 minutes, I will be taking you with me into the cleaners.
I think I might be up a little bit more than 5 minutes. It might be a little bit before the 5-minute time period.
4 minutes, 59 seconds.
Let
later.
me be so I can get up and go to the bathroom. Gosh.
Okay, Hobby, we're going to be ending this session with you. How do you spend your mornings?
Well, probably getting up, trying not to step on Cavill's face, since about half the time I figure the siblings are probably doing a kitten pile. Pretty much. You get up.
Reach me if you can.
Fine. Hobby is apparently going to climb on a...
I mean, the area that you have all been spending your evenings in is just like a giant barracks bunk room area. So yes, everyone hears the but let's face it, that was late morning.
True. Hobby probably got up and is having an appropriate breakfast, and being a tabaxi is not necessarily diurnal or nocturnal or crepuscular. You sleep when you are tired and you are awake the rest of the time, and sometimes you have the zoomies, right?
Yeah, sometimes. While you are having breakfast, you are approached by a plate armor-wearing orc.
Blink. Blink. Blink.
Oh my gosh.
So,
They're the cook.
I'm never good at cold opens. Are you... Please tell me you
plate
are.
armor?
You're the third tabaxi I've talked to in this building today. Are you Hobby?
Yes.
Oh, thank
Are
God.
you
Okay. This is only slightly less awkward now. You don't know me, but
No.
my name is Emerson.
It is a pleasure to meet you. and holds out a hand.
He shakes it. I'm a paladin of Teriash, and we need to talk.
I feel like the moment that Teriash was said is probably when there's a tabaxi clinging to the front of poor Emerson's plate mail.
Okay, so I am going to redo that last line then. I'm a paladin of Teriash, and we need to talk. Okay, not the reaction I expected. You haven't already met a small goblin child, have you?
No!
Okay,
Really?
because...
Really? Really? Not dead? Not dead? Not still dead? Really?
Yeah, we need to talk, and that's how we're ending it for the evening. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for playing. I told you there would be plot.
Sneaking.
My name is Crash.
And
I've been
on
your DM
that
for the
plot,
evening.
we have constructed an exceptional farm.
Unfortunately, it's a rock garden. Tonight, I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, Milo, who has something they wish to plug.
Eo's mom
Eo's mom writes books.
Uh-huh. Elizabeth-mccoy.com. And also you can ask for these books in ebook form from your local library. They're very cheap.
And speaking of websites, that's you, Milo.
I'm so tired. I run a defederated social media called elic.xyz. Yeah.
What I love about this is every session that you talk about Alec, you always refer to it as defederated instead of federated. But that's a selling point, because one of the many nice things about Alec is it is moderated. So a lot of the stuff that is negatively associated with social networks in general, you don't encounter on Alec.
Yeah, I keep combining the words federated and decentralized.
I stand by my statements. It's still a selling point.
Yeah.
And that's ELEKK.xyz. And speaking of Patreons.
Who has a Patreon? Oh, wait, yeah. You could help us keep the lights on, because servers cost money for hosting podcasts and stuff. Who knew? Patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. You can join other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Mickey, Shanshan, Walter, and Patron Emeritus Cindy. And if you don't have the money to donate to a Patreon, that's okay. I mean, it could be as little as $1 a month, that's fine, but not everyone has that to spend. That's great. If you like these episodes, if you like listening to them, maybe share them with someone else who might like listening. I can speak. We're all tired. That's the theme. I'm changing the name of this session to "We're All Tired."
We're all very tired.
Yes, we're all very tired, but we're doing okay, we guess. Actually, no, we're not.
We're so tired. Oh, so tired.
And because I forgot to come up with a joke this week, I'm recycling one. This week's episode was brought to you by Roger Daltrey's Discount Poultry. It's not fit for human consumption.
Fortunately, there aren't many humans in this party.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Auf Wiedersehen.